Hello everyone, this presentation is to bring everybody up to speed with the new changes related to foul switches and free throws in the OHSAA for the 2016-17 basketball season. In a lot of ways this is us going back to some things that we had been doing previously, but I wanted to put it together for everybody in a pretty straightforward video, so here we go. The outline of this presentation, we will cover foul switches for both two-person and three-person officiating mechanics, as well as free throws for both two-person and three-person. We will start with the foul switches in two-person mechanics. For switches in the front court with no free throws, there is no change. The calling official will report the foul, and that official and the non-calling official will switch positions. So in this play, the lead calls the foul, goes out to report, the trail becomes the new lead, and the lead becomes the new trail. Here, obviously, below the foul line extended on the lead sideline, the lead will administer the throw-in here. On this play, the tableside trail calls the foul, goes and reports. The old lead comes to new trail to administer this throw-in on the sideline, and then after the report, trail goes and becomes the new lead. As a reminder on our two-person mechanics, the calling official on a foul with free throws will always become the trail, but now because of our mechanics change, that official is the opposite side trail. So here, tableside lead calls a shooting foul, goes and reports, old trail comes down to new lead to administer the free throws, and then old lead goes and becomes the new opposite side trail. On this play, opposite side trail calls a shooting foul. All that's going to happen here is that official is going to step out of report and return to opposite side trail, because as we stated previously, if you call a shooting foul in two-person, you become the opposite side trail. Here again, trail calls a shooting foul, trail reports the foul, and then slides across the floor to become opposite side trail. Lead will end up table side to administer the free throws here. No change to the two-person philosophy from the National Federation if we're going to the other end of the floor with no free throws. Remember, here we change positions based upon where we would have been at the offensive end of the floor. So in this play, old lead calls a foul. We're not shooting, we're going to the other end. Since old lead would have been trail at the other end of the floor, now old lead is going to become new lead at the other end of the floor. So lead's going to go report the foul and go down and become new lead. Old trail is going to come across and administer the throw-in as the new trail. On this play, also without free throws, old trail calls the foul, steps out and reports, but since that old trail would have been lead at the other end of the floor, they're going to return to the previous position and remain as new trail. Lead is going to go lead to lead, so this is a bit of a long switch, but it does fit within the guidelines for the National Federation. In this play, we're going to the other end, and we are going to shoot free throws. So again, our overarching philosophy is if you call a shooting foul, you're going to end up as the opposite side trail. So here, old trail calls the foul, goes and reports, becomes opposite side trail, and then lead's going to have to go the length of the floor to administer the free throws. On this play, lead calls a foul with free throws at the other end. Lead's going to go report the foul and then end up at opposite side trail. Old trail just slides down the floor and becomes the new lead to administer the free throws. So that covers our two-person foul switches. Now let's shift our focus to the three-person switches. So the philosophy here is going to be pretty simple. If you call the foul, you're going opposite the table. You'll either become the center or the trail if we're staying in the front court and not shooting free throws. So on this play, the opposite side center calls the foul and goes to report. Lead's going to slide on across the floor to balance because we can see our throw-in spot there on the baseline. Old trail is going to slide down and become center. And old center is going to return to the opposite side and become the trail. On this play, the lead is going to call a foul, come out and report. The opposite side official, in this case, is the center. Center is going to go to administer that throw-in on the baseline as the new lead, and then old lead is going to go right on across the floor and become the new center. No movement for trail on this play. Here, opposite side lead calls a foul without free throws and is going to go out to report the foul. Opposite side trail is the official that's going to come down and become the new lead to administer this throw-in on the baseline, and then old lead simply becomes opposite side trail after the report. The philosophy here, if we call a foul with free throws in the front court, is that that official is going to go report the foul and become opposite side center every single time. So in this play, it's very easy. Opposite side center calls a shooting foul. That official is going to go report the foul and then return to opposite side center for the upcoming free throws. On this play, tableside trail calls the foul. They're going to go report the foul. Opposite center is going to come over to take the vacant trail position, and then old trail is simply going to go across the floor and become opposite side center. On this play, we have opposite side lead that's going to call a shooting foul, so that official is going to go out and report. Tableside center is going to have to position adjust out to become tableside trail. Old opposite side trail is now going to become the new lead, and then after the reporting is over, old lead becomes new center. One of our surviving philosophies when it relates to going to the other end of the floor in three-person is that there will be no long switches. So here we're just going to slide and position adjust our way down the floor. So in this play, when the trail calls a foul that's going the other way without free throws, they're going to go report and then slide down the floor to become the new lead. Center's going center to center. Old lead's going to come over and become the trail and administer all the throw-ins in the backcourt. On this play, the center makes the call with no free throws over here. The lead will slide across to become the new trail to administer the throw-in. Old trail has to become new center after adjustment, and then old center becomes new lead after sliding to cover the open spot on the floor. On this play, the opposite side lead calls the foul. You're just going to bounce out, report the foul, and return to become new trail to administer the throw-in. Old trail goes down the floor, becomes new lead, and center again goes center to center. When we're going to the other end with free throws, our philosophy is the same for the calling official. That person is going to end up as the opposite side center. For the other two positions, whoever is closer to the basket that we're going to shoot the free throws at becomes the new lead, the other official becomes the new trail. So in this play, when opposite side lead calls the foul, that person is going to go out and report the foul and become opposite side center. Of the two officials left, the trail is closer to the basket, so they're going to go from old trail to new lead. That leaves the old center to become the new trail in the front court. On this play, the old trail calls the foul. That official is going to go report and then become opposite side center. Of the two officials remaining, tableside center is closer to the basket, so they're going to come down and become the lead to administer the free throws. Old lead is going to go and become new tableside trail. Here, tableside lead calls the foul. They'll go report the foul and then become opposite side center. Old trail will become the new lead, and then old center becomes the new trail. Now that we've talked about where you're going to go after we call a foul, let's do a quick refresher on our free throw mechanics and coverage. In two-person, this should just look like an exact mirror image of what we've been doing the last couple of years, since the trail is opposite and the lead is going to be tableside. So once the lead bounces the ball, the lead's responsible for the player in the low position on his or her side, as well as all three players across, whereas the trail will take the shooter and the other two players on the lane, as well as all of the players not in a marked lane space. In three-person, all we've done is add the trail. The lead again has the same basic responsibilities of the player in the low spot on their side, as well as the three players opposite. Center, however, becomes responsible for the remaining two players in the lane, as well as the shooter, and the trail has some secondary assistance with the players not in marked lane spaces. I hope this clears up any of the confusion you may have had with the related changes for free throw mechanics as well as foul reporting. And feel free to use this at your association meetings, and keep up the good work, and good luck with everyone's season.